Best friends moving away can be hard, but with a little help from an invisible, clairvoyant, talking reindeer, we can learn what Christmas is really all about. Figure skating. We watched Blizzard, starring Whoopi Goldberg as Blizzard. Today on Nothing Movies. However you wish to self-identify, and welcome back to Nothing Movies, where we ask the question, fa-la-la-la-la, the fuck is this?
Hey.
It's the podcast where we go through an actor's filmography and choose the most anonymous and culturally untalked about movies that they've made, and decide whether or not they've got a certain something, or if they're just a whole lot of nothing!
Oh, just knocking them out of the park. You're on a roll tonight, buddy.
That's because I'm crazy Christmas Kaz Lascard!
Oh, and I'm Jingle all the way Rafter.
It's easy for you because you got the
J. Yeah.
You can make the Jingle association right there. I gotta stretch. I gotta spell Christmas with a K and crazy with a K.
That's true.
It's 3 Ks, which I didn't think about.
Yeah, one more and you're gonna be in deep trouble.
No, it's already because Kaz.
Oh yeah.
So I need to rethink this whole this whole idea. Starting over. No, we're fine.
It's too late.
It's too late. It's too late for that, and it's too late for our current trilogy, because we're on the final episode of our trilogy of the Nothing Movies of Whoopi Goldberg's voice acting career.
Whoopee.
Yep, that's what we did. We're talking about 2003's Blizzard, directed by LeVar fucking Burton. We will get into it.
Geordie LaForge himself.
Jameson, this has to be the fastest we have wrapped up a trilogy.
Oh.
It feels like we just started Whoopi.
Yeah.
Like we knocked it out of the park. It's almost like we wanted this to be over for some reason.
Well,
it's almost like we started the miniseries and then immediately realized what a bad idea the miniseries was. No, I'm joking.
It's because our vacations aren't really lining up.
Yes.
We only had 3. We did 3 episodes in 3 weeks.
Pretty much.
That's a new record for us.
We were pretty consistent.
WrestleMania isn't even that hectic sometimes.
No, we don't even plan that much for the actual month-long things that we do. No.
But we wanted to stick to our, at least get 2 episodes out for November, and then we'll break for the holidays while we get this. So this third one is going to be recorded. What is this? It's November 23rd today.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to peel back the curtain so the audience knows.
Yeah, sorry to break the illusion, folks.
Exactly. If you want to shatter the illusion for everyone at home, this is a timeless podcast. It could happen at any point.
Well, we kind of gave the game away already when we were saying we did 3 episodes in 3 weeks, and this one will be coming out, a couple of weeks after the last one.
Somewhere there's... that depends if I bother to...
There's going to be a lot of sad children who are just cheering up when they see that, their Spotify or their YouTube playlist, it got updated today.
Those are some sad children.
Yeah.
Children shouldn't listen to this.
No, it's not for kids.
We're not good role models.
No. We're no Whoopi Goldberg.
Except, ironically, we do watch a lot of movies made for children. Very young children. Not within our demographic at all, including this movie, which we will get into in a little bit. It's the second half of the show. If you've been listening this long, you know how it all works here.
Yeah.
I don't want to reveal my hand too early here, but I just want to say I found this movie charming.
Oh yeah, you sent me that.
Charming.
You sent me that text and all caps, charming.
I did 2 texts.
Yeah, so I immediately I was hosting trivia that night, so I went home, I watched it, I got about 35 minutes of the movie. Something happened in it, and I was like, I need to go to bed. This is a little too much for me.
I'm dying to know what it was that made you realize, I can't power through to the end of Blizzard. I need a Blizzard break.
I will say I found this movie to be crazy, but also charming.
Yes. Hey, look, don't get me wrong. I found many holes to poke at, mainly with the world building in this movie. I got some questions. I had some questions about how the magical land of the North Pole works.
Yeah, this zigzag that it takes through the plot to get from the start to finish.
Oh boy.
But
at any point in time, it seems like it takes no time at all to get to the North Pole, and also all the time in the world to get to the North Pole. But we'll figure that out later.
Bit of a swerve.
But let's finish up talking about what happens when Whoopi Goldberg puts her voice on tape. And then they animate a character around that voice. So I've written down all of the Whoopi Goldberg voice acting roles that we haven't talked about yet. I'll kind of bust through these.
Sure.
We can stop if we want to talk about anything here, if any of these topics sound interesting to you. Gonna start off with a really weird one, just in the sense that I genuinely do not know why they reached out to Whoopi Goldberg to voice this character. Whoopi Goldberg appears in Toy Story 3.
Oh, okay.
They go to you've seen the Toy Stories?
Yeah.
You've seen the stories of the
Yeah.
toys?
Toy Story 3 is the one
Toys
where...
the Boys?
Yeah, everyone cried at the end of that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone's all like, what a perfect ending. And then
they decided to make another one.
And they made another one. It was all like, what a bastardization. And then I went to see the fourth one. I'm all like, oh, pretty good.
Oh.
Also a good ending.
Oh, okay.
Holy shit. It didn't erase
I'm in no hurry to see it. I think
the fire and brimstone of the last one. But yeah, so they go to the daycare run by prison warden teddy bear Ned Betty, and he has like a bunch of like hench toys that like help him out. And she provides the voice of Stretch the purple octopus, who I'm almost certain only has one line.
Yeah.
I only remember there's like a scene where they're all playing cards, and Whoopi just goes like, haha, read 'em and weep. And it's just, and that's it.
That's her
And
line.
I'm like, the fuck did they get Whoopi Goldberg to play the fucking octopus?
She did that over the phone, probably.
She absolutely did that over the phone. It's all like, what was the purpose? You could have gotten you have a hall of animators over here, Pixar. Just grab one of them and get them to do the damn octopus. Don't get an Oscar winner. She's busy.
Like, was she in the area just like doing another voice role? Like she was just across the street and it was like, hey, Whoopi, could you come in here for a second? And she's happy to lend her voice to something.
They just switched a microphone on. What's a situation where someone can say read 'em and weep? That isn't like a poker game. I don't know. It's like maybe she's dropping off like her new memoir.
Read 'em and weep? Like take a look at this script. It's gonna have a sad ending.
Maybe she's like dropping
Get
off
yourself
like
into that
a bunch
headspace.
of like memoirs or like she was like boring in a really sad book or whatever. So
or
like,
doing the narration for like a nature documentary or something.
Can you come in here for a second? You have that book I borrowed? Yeah, you should read this and weep.
Yeah.
Moving on. She appears in 2011's The Little Engine That Could.
Oh, okay.
Which is a direct-to-DVD piece of crap. Where she voices...
You've seen it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've seen the DVD cover.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I should bring some of these up.
I was gonna say, like, don't judge a movie by its DVD
That's
cover.
entirely what we do on this show. But yeah, she's in that. She's playing the role of Tower.
The Tower?
No
Oh.
definite article, just Tower.
Okay.
This movie also features the voice talents of Jamie Lee Curtis and Patrick Warburton, who is playing a character named Caboose.
That'd be a fun name for him to say.
Really the perfect name for any
Caboose.
character. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? I'm Caboose. Here's the DVD cover for The Little Engine That Could. Looks like a nightmare.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they are not doing...
Why did they do that with the train? They didn't do the Thomas the Tank Engine
No,
thing.
they didn't. You need to do the Thomas when you're giving life to trains. You can't give them, like, fucking praying mantis eyes, like is on this travesty here.
God.
Yeah.
They're on independently moving stalks. That's unnerving.
So, yeah, I have absolutely no idea what Tower could mean. Oh, Jodie Benson, the voice of the Little Mermaid, is also in this. There we go. 2013-2014, she's on a few episodes of the spin-off Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. She's the voice of Mrs. Rabbit.
Okay.
Of course, you know there is the TV show Once Upon a Time. Then for, I believe... for 2 seasons, they did a spinoff that was just about Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
I never saw it. I did audition for it 8 times, but I've never watched a single episode.
Once Upon a Time was shot in my hometown of Steveston. Yeah, so like it's so funny seeing, because it's one of those primetime supernatural dramas where there's like all these like heady character moments and high stakes drama right out front of Dave's Fish and Chips where my sister worked.
Yeah.
You just try to keep your eyes peeled for like, is there someone I know in the background? Like,
well, the big bad wolf's got to eat too, you know?
Yeah.
He's got to get that sea fresh cod. I don't know. These are the jokes, folks.
That was a joke?
2015, she's in a movie that seems to have a bunch of different names. One of them is Sava, A Warrior's Tale.
Oh.
Although on IMDb it looks like it's also called Hero Quest. But this is a Russian animated movie that got a redub with American actors. She is the voice of Mama Zhaoji, and the voice cast also includes Sharon Stone, Mila Jovovich, and Joe Pesci. In his only voiceover role.
That's crazy.
And this was right in the period where he wasn't doing movies anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like he stopped doing movies. What was the last? Oh God, now I got
before he did The Irishman.
This is a Joe Pesci tangent.
God.
We gotta go on.
Was
he
it?
stopped making movies. I think Lethal Weapon.
I was gonna
4,
say that last Lethal Weapon was probably his
Lethal
last
Weapon
one.
4 was like his last movie for a really long time.
And then someone managed to get a hold of his number and strong arm him into providing a voice dub over to some Russian action movie.
Okay, here's like the last 5 things on Joe Pesci's IMDb.
Okay.
Lethal Weapon 4, 1998. The Good Shepherd, 2006. So that's like the time frame in between the movies that he was making.
Okay.
Then in 2010, he does a nothing movie that we could absolutely cover called Love Ranch, which is him and Helen Mirren. Then in 2015, he does Sava, The Hero's Quest. And then 2019, he does The Irishman, and he gives maybe his best performance ever, and he gets an Oscar nomination.
Yeah.
So,
after slumming it a little bit at the Love Ranch.
I have no idea why he signed on to that, but...
Which is a disgusting euphemism.
Oh, it truly is.
The Love Ranch.
I'm pretty sure that's a movie about a bordello. So it's a literal love ranch.
Okay.
But you don't... When you're thinking about, like, a bordello, you don't want to also have Joe Pesci in the back of your mind. Even if he's running the bordello. Maybe especially if he's running the bordello.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Maybe if that's a future episode. Also, Sharon Stone, a weird casino reunion.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie. Very strange. 2016, she's in 6 episodes of a Disney Channel animated TV show that I guarantee no one remembers existed. It's called The 7D.
70. Okay.
And it's a new take on the 7 Dwarves.
Interesting.
Yes.
Whoa, so that's a Disney...
This is a Disney thing.
But they're not using the character designs from Snow White.
Even though they literally own that shit.
Yeah.
Because Snow White is public domain, and I would have to imagine Disney's Snow White is also public domain at this point. But no, these are redesigned versions of the 7 Dwarves, but they are, in fact... Doc, Grumpy, Dopey, Happy, Bashful, all of they have like the appropriate names.
And who's Whoopi in that?
She's the Magic Mirror.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a TV show that exists, by the way. Sticking with Disney, she also, she's taken a page out of Robin's book, and she does an uncredited voice in the Disney Channel original movie Descendants 2. Now, do you remember Descendants? This was the kids of the villains.
Yeah, I heard about that show. Yeah.
It looks obnoxious, but it's incredibly popular. There's been 3 of them now.
Okay.
It's for like the High School Musical crowd.
Right.
But she's in the second one, and she has an uncredited voice role as Ursula.
Huh, I can see that.
Yeah, a little weird, seeing as Pat Carroll, the original voice of Ursula, was still alive at the time that they made that. I don't know. It may be like one line. It may literally just be like one. Again, Disney seems to have Whoopi Goldberg's number and only calls her to do like very minor shit.
Do one line as an octopus.
Yeah, exactly. And then come back and do...
Typecast her as that.
Yeah, and then come back and do another one line as an octopus lady.
That's why they got her back from Toy Story 3.
They're like octopus lady.
Yeah. They're like, hey, Whoopi, we got a part for you. Like, what is it? What, again?
Who's gonna
Motherfucker.
Who's gonna do? We need this lady. She's an octopus. She's purple. Who do we know who can voice a purple octopus quickly? we cracked it.
And then she's right on the phone with her agent, like, you gotta get me some better
this.
parts.
And then she does a lot of other TV shows. She's on an episode of BoJack Horseman in 2018 where she plays a stork lady who works at an adoption agency. I see the joke there.
Yeah. I mean, like, BoJack Horseman was a great show, but, like, you gotta just love all the animal puns, like, all the super appropriate animal puns.
Oh, man.
One of my favorite ones was when Diane goes back to see her family. She's got, like, a bunch of brothers because they're, like, a big, dumb Irish family. And one of them is a black sheep, even though she herself is the true black sheep of the family.
We have to get off this train because if we start, we will literally just be talking about BoJack Horseman gags that we like for this entire episode. We gotta talk about Blizzard. She's on 10 episodes of something called... I'm going to find the photo of this for you.
Oh, okay.
The Stinky and Dirty Show.
Oh, all right. Wasn't that one of the original titles for our podcast?
Now, who's who?
I think we all know.
But let's get it on the record. Okay, you know what? You know what? On 3, say which one you think you are, and I'll do the same.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Dirty.
Stinky. Okay, we were on the same.
All right.
Fair enough. This looks like it's an Amazon Prime original kids show, and it is about. What do you think Stinky and Dirty is about? Before I tell you what these characters are about, keep in mind this is a show for children.
I'm gonna say a cartoon skunk and a cartoon rat.
Good guesses, but yeah, you need to move out of the animal kingdom because Stinky is a garbage truck and Dirty looks like he's some sort of like a backhoe or something. They're machines.
Oh, okay.
They're machine pals and whatever. She's in 10 episodes of that. She plays Meg. I don't know what Meg does. I don't know if she's a human. I don't know if she's like a.
Does she own the landfill that they work at? What
Possibly,
the fuck?
Who knows? Yeah. She's in an episode of the recently canceled Hulu show MODOK. Did you ever watch that when it came out?
No.
I really wanted to like it, but it wasn't terribly good. Anyway, she's in an episode of that. She plays a villain called Pound Cakes. She's in an episode of Tuca and Birdie. She's on 12 episodes of a Cartoon Network show I've never heard of called Summer Camp Island. She's on a couple of episodes of a really great show that I recently watched all of. Shut up, I watch cartoons sometimes, called Amphibia.
Okay.
If anyone wants like a really good show for kids, but you are in touch with your inner child, watch Amphibia. That's a great show.
Okay.
And then she's in 2 movies this year. She's had a pretty busy year. She's in that movie Till that I mentioned a couple episodes back that was in theaters.
Yeah.
And she has 2 other animated movies out this year. She's in the abysmal Apple original animated movie Luck.
Okay.
Remember that? Do you remember seeing these fucking bus shelter ads everywhere?
I remember seeing the ads for it everywhere.
With the fucking cat with the 2 human lips?
Yeah.
That cat pissed me off, man. Every time I saw that cat, I'm all like, why does that cat have human lips?
The smirking protagonist doing that dumb DreamWorks animation smile that like every character does.
I have Apple TV, so I watched that for free because it was included in it. It's fucking terrible.
Do you feel like you were ripped off even though it was free?
It's the exact sort of fuck, because the big problem with it is that it's that thing where it's all like, here's this magical world. You ever wonder how blank works? Well, here in the land of blank, we have all the blankety blank blank. And so it's all like, okay, that's the setup for your movie. This fucking movie, every 10 fucking minutes, a different character will be all like, what's that? And then another will be all like, oh, well, this is the blankety blank, and you burn the blank. So like, but that means we can't go to the thing, and that creates a problem for us. And then they solve that problem, and then they run into another, and it's all like, well, Schnarfles don't go in the flippity box. They go over here. It's all like, this is another. It's just that it's an entire movie where it's nothing but exposition.
Okay.
It's wall to wall fucking exposition, and it's mind numbing. And the animation isn't even that good. And it's the perfect example of a movie that came out this year, and most of everyone has already forgotten that this movie exists. The only reason that this movie is still in the public consciousness is that it has the bad fortune of being John Lasseter's first project after he got ousted from Pixar from liking hugs too much.
Gotcha.
He liked inner office hugs a little too much, and this famously was the movie that Emma Thompson was signed up, and then when John Lasseter signed on, she wrote a very public letter basically saying, nope, not getting me.
Okay.
Not getting these dulcet tones.
Gotcha.
No, those dulcet tones they did get.
I couldn't guess.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. And she plays like the captain of the leprechauns or whatever. It's a very
That role fits her like a glove.
It's a very low energy, boring performance. Even while I was watching them all, like, wow, Whoopi is not trying in this. And then she's also in another movie that just came out that I haven't seen yet. It's a Netflix animated movie called My Father's Dragon. That is from the Irish animation studio Cartoon Saloon, which makes great movies like The Secret of Kells, and The Breadwinner, and Wolfwalkers. That's a fantastic movie. So let's talk about an animated movie that came out exclusively on Apple TV that you should watch. Watch Wolfwalkers. Don't watch Luck.
Okay.
But I haven't seen that. She voices a cat in this movie. She's just playing cat. Again, she's quite far down the cast list. So again, I don't know if this is like a full character or if this is just two lines, or whatever. But she's out there, Whoopi Goldberg. She's doing things with her voice.
Yeah,
they're recording it.
Good for her.
They're animating shit over top of it. I said that already.
Yeah,
but like, yeah.
Well, good
there we go. We
Yeah.
covered the career.
Yeah.
Dude, do you feel anything? Do you feel hollow inside like me?
Well, no, I'm still trying to
grasp why we're doing this.
No, I'm trying to grasp like that plot to luck that you were saying, just because
I was purposefully leaving words out of it.
Yeah, and just like coming up with gibberish, it was hard for me to follow. But that was like 10 minutes ago.
So the main character of Luck, we got time. We got time. We're not.
Oh, we don't have time to talk about BoJack Horseman characters. We can talk about
we can throw in a little
a
BoJack
movie that
here.
only one of us has seen.
So so in Luck, so the main character is this incredibly conventionally attractive woman, but she's also the world's most unluckiest person.
Okay.
Because she's an orphan and she never got adopted, and now she's like
hooking,
like a grown. Did you say hooking?
Yeah.
Yes, Jameson.
Well,
yes, this animated movie for children.
You're saying that
she hooks.
She's a really good-looking lady, but she doesn't have a good.
She does sex work. She sells her body.
All right,
that's what happens.
Oh, so someone's getting lucky in the movie Luck.
Yep, and that's what and that's how she gets her luck back.
All right,
there
cool.
you go. You know what? I'm not continuing on with that shit. You nailed it. You hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what happens in this movie.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
You know what's a good BoJack Horseman gag?
What's that, Kaz?
Is when they're in a place and Diane says, "Let's address the elephant in the room," and then an actual elephant turns around.
Oh,
and
yeah,
says,
it's a rude.
Hey!
Yeah.
And he walks away, and then BoJack goes, "He'll never forget that." Do you got another one, or
no.
should we wrap up? Okay, well then we're gonna wrap up a little bit early, and we're gonna get right back into Blizzard because there's
so much to go over with this movie.
There's a deluge of other weather-based puns. God, I'm on the ball tonight. Anyway, please enjoy this charity spot. It's the season for giving, of course.
Yeah,
naturally.
And as we record this in November, just trying to hurry this out the door.
It's still the season for giving.
It certainly is.
This is the first Christmas movie I watched this year, so technically the Christmas season has begun.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't heard any Christmas music quite yet. I mean, it's still November, but usually it like pipes in as soon as Halloween. I
saw. Did you see that video? Or I don't even know what to call them anymore. I guess it's like a meme that they released on November 1st. That's Mariah Carey on. I think she's on like a Peloton, but she's dressed as a witch, and it literally dropped on November 1st. And Mariah Carey's looking at the camera, going, Yeah. And then as it gets closer, she transforms into Christmas because it's like
that's her thing now.
And you know what? Good for her. You know who doesn't? You know who doesn't have enough? Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
You know who's like? Everyone always says is like a good human being and treats people with respect and love for goodwill towards all men. Mariah Carey.
Is that not true?
It's funny that like Mariah Carey.
I know she's had a reputation for being a bit of a diva, but I don't think she's got.
No, she has a reputation for being the diva.
Okay, yeah.
She's like you read all these stories about like the things that she puts into like her concert riders and stuff like that. She's like half of the reason why they have like that thing where it's all like I only want green M&Ms.
Oh, really?
In here or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. It's specifically that. You know what? It is cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
good. It is really
good
cool.
for her. I mean, she's found success and she doesn't need to.
No.
She'll never want for anything. So I think she's earned the right to be a little bossy.
This is a pro Mariah podcast. Go out there, girl, slay Yas Queen.
Yeah.
And maybe one day we'll do a trilogy on Mariah Carey. I think she's literally only made one movie, so it would be a small trilogy.
Yeah.
But
well, let's cross that bridge when we get there. I'm sure there's more deserving actors and performers before we cover the film history of Mariah Carey. I don't know.
We're currently on the.
I do not want to watch Glitter.
We're currently on the voice roles of Whoopi Goldberg, man. We might already be at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I
See, this is the trick for this podcast: is you start strong,
yeah,
and then you immediately
we really started strong.
Then you immediately go to the bottom of the barrel. But when you hit the bottom of the barrel, there's only one way to go. That's up.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we didn't have to specify just the voice roles of it. I had an animated movie in mind, and then we said, no, there's probably more animated movies that we could cover with Whoopi Goldberg. We gotta mix it up with a live action one. I wouldn't have mind.
We did. That's
exactly.
Spoiler alert! That's what today's episode
turns out what we're doing. Yeah,
and we'll talk about it after this charity spot, which we told you about 5 minutes ago, as is our want. Goodbye.
Canada's free healthcare system has been a literal lifesaver to countless people for decades. However, it is currently facing an unprecedented crisis. not simply as a result of the demanding and financial strain caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, but massive surgical backlogs, acute shortage of family doctors, and record-high burnout among healthcare workers have been decades in the making. Urgent action is needed to improve the health system, the health workforce, and the overall health at a national level. For this, we have the Frontline Fund. The Frontline Fund was created by leaders in the healthcare fundraising sector who formed a national coalition to help leading Canadian hospitals and foundations raise urgently needed funds to support the highest priority needs of participating hospital foundations, including support for the Northern Territories and Indigenous health. The goal is to provide Canadians with an easy, streamlined way to support hospitals in the form of financial assistance. These include much-needed PPE, life-saving equipment and tools, peer-to-peer mental health support, lodging near the hospitals for frontline workers, and funding to conduct vital research to discover therapeutic breakthroughs and vaccine development efforts. To learn more about the Frontline Fund and how you can support their advocacy or even make a donation, visit their website at frontlinefund.ca. That website again is frontlinefund.ca. Let's get back into a holly jolly mood, Kaz.
No one's gonna know because we were just talking. I don't know what happened. We stopped the recording and we just got into like this big talk about like dead comedians, about like Phil Hartman and Chris Farley. You weren't able to hear it, but,
but just imagine how sad it was, and then double it because
it brought the mood down. I said something really sad, and then
I countered with another sad anecdote about a celebrity.
I immediately hit record.
Yeah,
and we're back into it.
So Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Welcome back to Blizzard.
Welcome back to Blizzard Country. Directed by LeVar fucking Burton.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know he directed a couple of episodes of Star Trek.
Okay, I'll do his directorial career real fast because it's real short. Yeah, he works a lot in TV. He has directed episodes of most of the Star Treks. He's directed, actually, Next Generation, not even ironically, but like Next Generation is the one he's actually directed the least. Probably because it's the one that he's on, but he's directed a lot of Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. They haven't tapped him for either Picard or Discovery yet. I feel like he's still working. He's currently...
Those are very different shows than the OG Trek shows.
I suppose, but I think they got Frakes to direct a couple of them. So, if they got Frakes, why not get Burton in there? Lately, he's been doing a lot of NCIS. That's kind of like his wheelhouse. That's what butters his bread currently right now.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a for hire guy.
Yeah, a journeyman director who'll just like show up on set and like deliver something on time.
But he has 4 movies to his name. A couple of them are TV movies. I think Blizzard might be the only movie he directed that ended up in theaters. However briefly it did, this movie...
However much this looks like a straight-to-DVD...
This movie did have a very narrow theatrical release window. We'll talk about that a little bit. Okay. His first movie is a TV movie from 1998 called The Tiger Woods Story. I guess this is about a golfer. I don't know. I'm not familiar. Yeah. But Keith David is in that.
Oh, okay.
As Tiger Woods' father.
Okay.
I've dropped the bit immediately. That was stupid. But so I guess this was like a TV movie based on Tiger Woods in 1998 before anything interesting happened to him. So I don't really know what I want to be a golfer, and then he was.
Tiger Woods is a mixed-race athlete in a predominantly white sport who went pro at age 20 in 1996 and won 3 PGA Tour events, including the Masters, less than a year after beginning his pro career. Call me crazy, but I think there's a story in there somewhere.
That's what that movie's about. 1999, he does a Disney Channel original movie called Smart House.
Sport House?
No, Smart House.
Smart House.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Which is about a family that gets a smart house, a house with a computer in it, and it materializes itself as like the perfect mother. Because it's a single dad, so they don't have a mom. So I guess the Smart House creates the perfect mom, who is played by the great Katie Sagal.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and she's in like I'll pull this out. She's in like a 50s housewife thing. I don't know. I feel like this.
I'm gonna imagine this takes a dark turn, like a solid Black Mirror episode.
Well, it's a Disney Channel movie, so I don't really know what happens in it. Just imagine. Can't find it. Just imagine Katie Sagal. Just like a mom. It does sound like a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain they did a Black Mirror episode about a smart house, didn't they not?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of Jexy. 2003, he does Blizzard, and then his last movie that he's directed from 2008, it's a movie called Reach for Me.
Oh!
Not Reach Me.
Oh,
the first episode, first movie we ever did an episode on. No, Reach for Me.
Reach for Me.
Which is a movie, it looks like is a movie about a romance that takes place in like an assisted living facility. It's an old person romance movie.
Okay.
It's Seymour Cassel and Adrienne Barbeau are our two senior... Lovebirds, thank you. Mm-hmm. Lacey Chabert is also in it. Alfred Woodard is in it. LeVar Burton gives himself a small role in it. It looks like this movie dropped at like a couple of festivals and then sunk off the face of the earth.
I see.
It has like no DVD release, no real way to see it.
So
it's a real nothing movie in the sense that we can never do an episode on it because I can't find a copy of it anywhere.
Well, challenge accepted.
But it looks very earnest. It looks like a nice, sweet little romance between old people. I'll tell you what, that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, like I don't really love romance movies all that much. I'm starting to watch a few more because I'm trying to, develop a taste for them. Because I feel like there are like some, quote unquote chick flicks that I kind of like passed over when I was a kid. So I'm all like, well, that movie's for girls or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as I'm older, I'm realizing there's a lot of like really good movies out there. Like I'm realizing like in my 30s, like fuck, Legally Blonde is like a really good movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like I'm trying to figure this out. But like my problem is that a man and woman in their 30s finding love fucking snore. Like don't.
You just like described what like 100 different movies. Yeah.
And like the younger they get, the less I care. Like like teenage romance. Get that shit out of there. You're not gonna. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be together forever? You're fucking 14. Get out of here. Old people romance. Sign me the fuck up. I love.
They're on limited time.
There is nothing cuter than an old person romance, James. I love that shit.
Okay.
And so does LeVar Burton. Apparently. But yeah, fucking LeVar, and it's like he's a real pop culture icon in the sense that he has like what I would call like a trifecta of memorable pop culture roles.
Yeah.
He's got
between Reading Rainbow and Star Trek, yeah.
Star Trek, and I would also throw Roots on there.
Of course,
even though I have not seen Roots, but like Roots came out first, and that's sort of like the big thing that got his career rolling.
Right.
But like those are like it's Kunta Kinte, it's Geordie LaForge, and it's himself.
Yeah.
In Reading Rainbow. But don't take my word for it. But and then
there was like the big push to get him as the replacement for Alex Trebek on Jeopardy,
which I don't even know if he actually even wanted that job. I think the internet maybe just like
pushed him towards
it. I think maybe when he didn't get it, he was like slightly more relieved.
Yeah,
he just seems like a great. I don't know. I mean, like he's such a warm.
He's super likable.
Likable presence. Like I wonder if it's like one of like those association things. Like, do you remember when like Batman v Superman came out and everyone was pissed off that Jesse Eisenberg was playing Lex Luthor, and everyone immediately said they should have cast Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor.
Oh yeah,
that's perfect casting. And then like a year later, it was all like, was that perfect casting, or was it because he had just played an evil bald person?
Yeah.
So, like, would LeVar Burton be the perfect Jeopardy host, or does he just have a fabulous mustache? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Do we just associate that because he kind of looks like Black Alex Trebek with the mustache? Which is interesting, because LeVar Burton acting career, no stash. He doesn't have a stash for Geordie. He doesn't have a stash for... Did he have a stash in Reading Rainbow?
So Blizzard.
I think he
Blizzard.
He's this guy. He's like that meme guy where he's like, think.
What, Rodin's Thinker?
Yes, I'm thinking of Rodin's Thinker. Modeled after LeVar Burton.
So, Blizzard.
Okay, let's do it. Let's talk about Blizzard.
Well, I mean,
She's a reindeer. She's my best friend.
Alright, shit. Like, I don't recall him ever having a mustache on any of the Star Trek TNG episodes I have.
He should have.
There's probably like some parallel universe or time travel episode where he's got a beard.
Oh yeah,
but by that time he's already like lost the visor because he's got like the implants or whatever.
That's right. That's the thing, is he couldn't have a mustache and the visor.
Yeah,
it would have been a little too.
It clutters up the face.
It does
too much.
clutter up the face. A little
and there's enough people on Star Trek that have shit covering their faces.
What they should have done is after he got the visor away and he got like the implants or whatever, that he should have had like a mustache, but the mustache was a visor.
Yeah.
So he's all like, it helps me like smell in like the fourth dimension.
Mm.
I don't know. Geordie was like a tech guy, right?
He was like
the engineer. He was the Scotty.
He was the head engineer or whatever.
He was the Scotty of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard.
Oh, okay.
I was ready to talk about it, and then you veered back.
No,
I don't know.
You pulled me back in. Like
Every time I think I'm out.
Oh, I guess we're not talking
about back in. All right.
We didn't mention that there's a shit ton we wanted to talk about with this movie, though.
Well, let's get into it. Then.
Okay, thank you.
So the production company is called Hole Digger Films.
Yeah, what a great fucking logo that was.
You ever watch like those like opening logos that are like a short film all in their own?
It's a little more interesting than the movie because it's just like a man.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a man who's digging a hole, and then like his child, I assume, comes up and whacks him in the head with a shovel, and then he mutters something to him.
And then like the final shot is him like freeze framing out of the hole with a look on his face, all like, "Oh, that son of mine, always digging them holes."
Yep.
It's very reminiscent of my favorite. Of I think what is like the best Family Guy joke. The joke that always makes me laugh is when he's watching the movie and he can't tell when the movie starts and the production credits end. Where it's like the guy is like he has like a bleeding wound. He like breaks into a cabin. Is all like, "Oh, here we go," and then it's all like Stab Wound Productions present. He's like, "Come on." Blizzard. How many times can we say Blizzard?
I don't know. How many times can we describe shit from other pieces of media before we get to this fucking movie?
That's what we fucking do. We've been doing it for 4 years, Jameson.
All
That's
right.
the whole point of this.
All right, so this movie opens with two kids tobogganing down a snowy hill because it's Christmas time and they're just having the time of their life. But then we find out that one of them is moving away, so this is sort of their last go at the toboggan hill together. So they biff it one final time and lay in the snow like dead people.
What is it? Why do we always seem to watch Christmas movies that involve moving? Do a lot of people move at Christmas time? Or is it just in the movies? It seems like that's often the catalyst for the story moving forward.
Of the Christmas movies we watch, or just Christmas movies in general?
Happened in Pups Alone. It's the driving force behind the Christmas movie that we watched, but we haven't done an episode on yet.
Okay, so two, but I don't remember them moving away. If anything, people came together for Home for the Holidays, and Pottersville.
People were moving from that town because that town was dying. It's not really exclusively moving.
And none of our principal characters had to deal with the fact of people leaving.
It is 3. It's not. I wouldn't call it a coincidence yet, but it does seem odd that it's happened so many times.
It's our trilogy of Christmas movies that involve movement.
Yes, but one of them is a movie that we haven't done yet. Maybe we'll do it next year. Who knows?
I hope we can do it.
One of these.
I still got a lot to talk about with that movie.
I know. We got to figure it out. It's a hard movie to find.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, in terms of, like, winter sports, I've never been much of, like, a skier. I've never snowboarded in my life. When I was a kid, I fucking lived for sledding, man. That was my fucking jam.
Oh, it was great, yeah.
I lived near a bunch of, like, elementary schools. One of them had, like, a massive hill. Mm-hmm. Dude, you couldn't get me off the hill.
You could race your friends. You could all pile onto the same sled together. You could, like, knock people over with it. Man, it was the best.
It's my favorite part of winter.
Yeah.
My favorite injury to get. Mm-hmm. It's just flying, just getting some sick air.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was an injury averse child. I did not want to get hurt. Mm-hmm. But put me on a cheap piece of plastic and toss me down a hill and I'm a happy boy.
Yeah. So the little girl Jessie, she says goodbye to her friend Bobby, who I assume just because they're moving away, that means they have to sever all contact and they'll never see each other again. Facebook and Skype doesn't exist in this universe.
2003, yeah, 2003. It didn't exist in that. It didn't exist in our universe either.
But you know what did exist? The telephone.
Yeah,
and writing letters to people.
But Bobby needs to be here, Jameson. It's not good. It's like, and then like sometimes Derek comes by with his sled, but fuck Derek. Yeah. I'm a Bobby's girl. Fuck that. Everything's ruined. But also,
did you get the impression that like the parents were really hoping that she would go with Derek? Like
they wanted to. They were kicking her out the door.
Like, oh, that Derek's quite the little heartbreak. You should go with him. Or like maybe his parents were really influential and they kind of wanted to ingrain themselves in that family. I think there's a conspiracy at work here where they're like, hey, it sucks that Bobby moved away, but Derek's right there, and of course Jesse's all despondent to the point where like when the aunt comes by, she's like, Jesse, we got a surprise for you. Is it Bobby? And she's like practically breaking down the door. It's like,
I mean,
no, fucking get over for that damn Bobby kid.
Your aunt from like overseas. Chill out.
Yeah.
Look, man, if you really want to go down this rabbit hole like a little bit further, you haven't brought up the fact that Bobby and his family happen to be a black family. So it's all like,
Oh.
we're gonna usher this out. Look, here's this nice white child for you to play with darling. I don't know. You brought it up. You took the fucking. You took the lid off the can.
I didn't make that connection though. You inferred that.
I see racism everywhere.
All right.
Especially in children's movies from black filmmakers.
Well, that fucking sucks because I thought Jessie's mom was hot. Anyways, to cheer her up, she invites
Maybe a hot racist.
I'll give Jessie's mom a pass then if that's
wow. You're giving Jessie's racist mom a pass.
That's right.
Wow,
yeah.
Jameson.
Anyways, she wants to cheer her up, so she invites over the eccentric Aunt Millie, who is like gallivanting around the world in hot air balloons and like running with the gazelles and the Serengeti.
She's running with the gazelles. No, wait, it's November. She's in a hot air balloon, and it's just all like, how do you know this?
Yeah.
Like, it's all like, yeah.
Is she going around the world in 80 days? What the fuck is this woman? But
how much time do you think passes? Because she obviously has to put in a call to Aunt Millie. Aunt Millie needs to drop everything, get on a plane, and go to visit her niece?
Yes.
Her great niece, I guess?
No, her only niece, as she calls her at the door.
Beautiful Bethy, how's my only niece?
And so, like, obviously this is, like, at the bare minimum, like, 3 days traveling time. So, like, how much time has passed? How close are we to Christmas? Because when Aunt Millie gets there, we find out it's December 24th.
Yeah.
It's the day before Christmas, or December 23rd, or whatever.
At this early in the stage, I just assumed, is Aunt Millie magic?
Well, I mean, hey, let's not jump to the end.
Right.
Let's not jump to... Actually, I already have a theory about how Aunt Millie got there so quickly. Let's see if you and the audience can figure it out before we mention it. So Aunt Millie shows up. She's played by double Oscar-nominated British actress Brenda Blethyn.
Never heard of her.
I can't imagine you would have heard of the two movies that she was nominated for Oscars for. Yeah, Brenda Blethyn is one of those interesting actors who, like, she's been in stuff, but she doesn't have that big role, you know? Like, she got...
big mainstream role that, like, a simpleton like I would know?
Exactly,
Oh, thank you for that.
She doesn't have, like, the dum-dum role. I'm trying to see if she...
For my fellow Philistines and I.
Her top 4 movies on IMDb... Yeah, see, like, you need to watch British movies if you know who she is. Her 2 movies that...
I've seen Hot Fuzz.
That she got nominated for were Secrets and Lies and Little Voice, which are movies from the 90s that a lot of people have already forgotten about. She's in the Keira Knightley Pride and Prejudice. I don't know if that means anything to you. Keep talking about the plot. I'll see if I can find a movie that you probably know Brenda Blethyn from.
Okay, cool. So, Aunt Millie, she wants to cheer Jessie up, so she decides, I'm going to tell you another story about friendship and loss, and that this is, like, now our framing device, like her telling her great niece or whatever.
Her
only niece. Yeah, I'm going to tell you the story about loss. And so the story jumps to the setting of, like, the 1950s.
Yeah, I got absolutely nothing. There's no crossover Brenda Blethyn movie.
She wasn't in, like, a Batman movie or whatever.
She's in Pooh's Heffalump movie. That's the most mainstream thing I can find that... Well, no, I guess Pride and Prejudice is the most...
Yeah, but I ain't watching Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, anyway, she's that lady.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like the 1950s in this story that she's telling. I don't know. She never specifies a year.
No, but, like, the fashion and...
Yeah, we're led to believe, like, the production
and the car models, like, it looks a little 1950s. And, fuck, that had the fucking stranglehold on, like, design for Christmas. Like, we're still playing 50s Christmas songs on the radio to this day.
What I like about this is... As Aunt Millie is going into her story, this is just like a really like subtle thing that I noticed. It's all like the movie didn't have to do this, but like as Aunt Millie is going into the story, the lighting around her changes, and all of the light in her room, in like the kid's room, gets like sucked out. So it's very theatrical. And there's just like one like spot spotlight on Aunt Millie, and I'm all like, you didn't have to do that, LeVar, but you know what? I appreciated that you did that.
There's going to be a couple of instances that I'm going to call out where I'm like, that's a really interesting and good choice, LeVar Burton.
Definitely.
And I'm like,
attention to detail.
You should probably direct expect more shit.
He absolutely should. Well, he works in TV a lot. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start watching NCIS and I'll be all like, fuck!
This one
Burton directed the fuck out of
this handful of episodes that he did, like they're some of the best in the series.
I just signed on for some naval crimes, but you know what? I got the fucking show of the year.
So Katie, and her, their middle class family. She's got.
We should specify that we are now talking about the little girl in the story.
Yes.
That Aunt Millie is talking about.
Yeah. So she's got like two Hellraiser little brothers.
It's a very Princess Bride sort of setup thing here. Every once in a while we go back to
Aunt Millie and Jesse are the framing device.
Exactly. But for the majority of the movie, it is a story about a little girl named Katie.
Yes.
Yes.
So her only joy in life is skating, and she says it's her favorite thing in the world, even though right at the outset she sucks at it, until she draws the attention of a very initially creepy Russian guy.
The introduction of this character is just all like, who's this creeper just standing on the middle of ice, looking at all the children.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out he is a gold medal winning figure skater from like Czechoslovakia.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I don't know. I think the actor might be a Czech actor. I don't know, but yeah, he's somewhere in Eastern Europe.
And he takes a real interest at young Katie's.
This is Otto Brewer.
But
all of it, it's a Christmas movie, so all of his interest is perfectly natural.
It's all innocent.
It's all innocent.
Even though he goes right up to the mother like, I take great interest in your daughter. I buy her, yes.
I accept no money.
I will train her for free, no questions asked.
Yes.
And of course, in this era, like, mother should probably be like, get away from her, you fucking commie.
I mean, this is really funny because like he literally says, I will train her, I accept no payment, it will be fine. See you tomorrow. Remember to have proper skates.
Yes.
And then he just walks away. He just says, see you tomorrow, proper skates. And I'm all like, all right, several follow-up questions.
Yeah.
What time tomorrow? What are proper skates?
Yeah.
How much do proper skates cost? Because as we just mentioned, we're a little low on money right now.
Mm-hmm.
Otto Brewer, you need to be a little
presumptuous.
You need to be a little more specific about maybe shit just worked different in the 1950s.
Like, honey, we're gonna find you a different skating rink to go to. We can't come back.
We can't come back to this. But Mom, this is the only frozen pond in town. It's too.
Yeah.
We can't come back.
So they buy her a pair of used skates, which are yellow, which is fine as far as I'm concerned, but everyone calls her out for it, including Otto Brewer. They hate the fact that these skates are yellow.
Yeah, fuck this. Yeah, don't have, like, individuality or whatever. Even though, like, the next time we see her skating, she's done the obvious thing. She's just accentuated her outfit with, like...
she color matches
with, like, bits of yellow.
Yeah.
And it's all like, there you go. You match now. It's not a problem anymore. It doesn't look weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. By the way, I just want to say, I wanted to say this at the beginning, but it slipped my mind. About 25% of this movie is just figure skating.
Yeah.
No plot.
Practically
no dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
It's just full routines of mostly little girls figure skating. Settle in for most of that.
You pad the runtime with the sweeping music playing over little girls doing figure skating.
And we see all of it. It's very
and
it's good. They're good. They cast
proper skaters.
They cast children who know how to do this.
Yeah. One thing I want to say really quickly about those skates, and I had to look it up to confirm this, and I find it very interesting that they call her out for having yellow skates and not the proper white skates. Sports bomb. There is a defunct NHL team called the California Golden Seals, and there was a period where they were wearing white skates, and they were the only team in the league that were doing this, and they have been rightfully ridiculed by it, and to this day, skates in the NHL have to be black. They were always black before, then one team decided to go white, they were ridiculed for it, and now like they're across the board meant to be black.
Right.
So,
and now there's the rule in the NHL, if you go white, it's not all right. Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
I just think it's funny that in the world of like ice hockey, you get ridiculed for having white skates. I guess that carries over to figure skating too. If you have non-white skates, it's a problem. So what is this weird hang-up they have about the color of skates?
No, but the rule is in figure skating, if your skates are mellow, you better get some yellow. I fucked that up. But you get the general idea of what I was going for.
I'm catching that train you were trying to get.
It's a little weird that their name was the Golden Seals and they didn't have golden skates. I feel like that would have been... Well, I guess you can't really keep that up anyway. No. I guess gold looks yellow anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, sports bomb! Yellow.
Anyways.
Does Katie's mom look like Michelle Pfeiffer to you?
No, but her dad looked like somebody. But
everyone looks like somebody. I should specify, her mom doesn't look like Michelle Pfeiffer. She looks like someone who might be related to Michelle Pfeiffer.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Michelle Pfeiffer's sister, who I know is an actor. It's not. It's a Canadian actress.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She looks... she's hot.
Yeah. Anyways, Katie's doing really well at the figure skating, but then her dad gets laid off at the mill, so they have to move to the city and away from her precious skating instructor.
Abrupt cut to the North Pole!
Yeah, like fucking 25 minutes into this movie, it swerves to the North Pole.
You don't think you want to maybe set that up a little bit? Look, LeVar, I logged into Amazon Prime and I started watching a movie called Blizzard. I'm aware of the fact that the North Pole factors into this movie. Still, though, ease me into it.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this movie's about Santa Claus and his reindeer and shit.
And it's just like, we're there!
Yeah, okay. So yeah, hard swerve to the North Pole where Santa's strictest elf, Kevin Pollak.
Archimedes,
the French-Canadian elf.
Kevin Pollak back on the show after Deal of a Lifetime, one of the worst movies we've ever covered on this show.
I kind of liked it.
You're wrong!
For all the wrong reasons. I will say this, though. You mentioned, because I thought about this, you mentioned in the Deal of a Lifetime episode that Kevin Pollak seemed to have less fun as the movie went on. Like, at the very beginning, he's high energy, he's enjoying the role, and then it kind of clued into him what kind of movie he was working on, and he just lost his enthusiasm. I picked up on that vibe with this movie, too.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he starts the scene, really hamming it up as the persnickety, by-the-books head elf, and then as the movie goes on, he kind of has less to do, except be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'll say the DVD cover of this movie is very misleading because it leads you to believe that Kevin Pollak's going to get in on the adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's hanging out with the reindeer, and the kid on the cover is all like, "I'm here. It's all fine.
Mm-hmm.
None of this is my fault.
Yeah.
I'm here." Yeah. It looks like he's gonna. Well, it looks like there is like an elf sidekick character who shows up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
This DVD cover makes you think that's going to be Pollak. No, he's like the main antagonist.
Yeah.
And he is not in for jollies or hollies. No, he's got a big old lump of coal up his butt.
Mm-hmm.
He loves the rules.
Yeah, and
he's a rule maker. And he won't stand for no rule breakers.
That's right.
Especially toddler reindeer. Oh, he especially hates those for some reason.
Yeah. That's very true. We never find out what... But yeah, he's delivering the news to Santa Claus, who's played by Christopher Plummer.
Who is crushing it.
He's playing more of a Gandalf than a Santa Claus, because when he starts talking about like lineage and their commitment like to their goals and their mission and their community.
Blizzard is the daughter of Blitzen and Delphi, and the granddaughter of Sirius, one of the greatest flyers ever, and she's to be given all the love and respect that her lineage deserves.
Yeah, look, a phrase that is often used in online criticism that gets thrown around a lot, sort of a buzzword that people like to use in like reviews for stuff that I'm increasingly getting more and more sick of because I feel like people overuse it, is the phrase, they didn't need to go that hard. You know, you've heard people use this in terms of, like, oh, that TV show didn't need to go that hard. I'm getting a little tired of that. It's a little perfunctory. You're not really saying what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's kind of dumbed down.
That being said, Christopher Plummer did not need to go this fucking hard for playing Santa Claus. He's approaching this like he's playing fucking Prospero in The Tempest or some shit. He is giving this a fucking Shakespearean vibe to it. He is not sleeping.
This is not the bowl full of jelly like jolly Santa Claus.
He is taking this shit very seriously.
Yeah, this is Saint Nicholas, and he's like all what's the word I'm looking? Reverence.
Yes.
Yeah, and like he's got that like Ian McKellen as Gandalf tone throughout this movie. And so yeah, they go check out the new deer, the daughter of Blitzen and what the fuck
Delphine? Well, they had to create a bunch of reindeer that you haven't heard in the story, or whatever. But yes, this is Blizzard, and this is our titular character of the movie, who's a legacy reindeer because she is the daughter of Blitzen,
and she's apparently a baby cow.
Yeah. So, now here's the first thing that I'm really taking umbrage with here, because Kevin Pollak goes to Santa Claus and he says, the new because he's Triumph the Insult comic dog. The new reindeer has been born for me to poop on. And Santa Claus is all like, this is wonderful. And Kevin Pollak's all like, oh, slow your roll, Santa. Maybe don't get too excited. And there's all like, oh, what happened? Is all like, oh,
you'll find out.
You're not gonna like this. And then Santa Claus shows up, and then it's like a regular reindeer calf, but she has like hair. She's got like a wig on, someone glued like a wig to her. And because she has like a little more hair on top of her head, she's labeled as like a freak. Oh, look at that fucking thing.
Yeah.
And Kevin Pollak's like immediately like, throw it in the fire.
Zutalar, we cannot have the reindeer with a wig.
And he also says like, it's a female. They were hoping for a boy because apparently boys are better flyers and everything. And this is like a weird point of contention that like, girl reindeer aren't as good at flying, and Blizzard's better at it. That's what makes Blizzard special.
There's a really funny. Well, I was caught off guard by this one line that Aunt Millie said.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
go ahead.
So it was very unconventional for female reindeer to fly, with the exception of Vixen.
Now, back then, it was very rare for female reindeer to be accomplished flyers. Except, of course, for Vixen.
Yeah, and I heard that, and I'm all like, the exception of Vixen. What are you talking? Why is this such like a weird point of contention for you? Is all like, oh, like a girl reindeer. Oh, she'll never join Santa's sleigh. Motherfucker, you already have a girl reindeer doing the Santa's sleigh.
She broke the glass ceiling for the other female deer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This isn't even like, look what this one can do. Oh, she's breaking conventions. No, the conventions have already been broken.
Yeah, Vixen was a trailblazer. Yeah. But I just liked that the way that she delivered that was like, as you know, Vixen was the first female flying reindeer.
Couldn't be a boy reindeer named Vixen, not in the 1950s.
I mean, if she had said that to me, I would have done my best. Yes, of course I knew that.
We all know Vixen. Listen, Aunt Millie, we all know from Vixen.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, Vixen, not a character in this movie.
No.
Never seen.
I mean, other deer get name dropped.
There's a few other that get name dropped. Yes, the only legacy reindeer who actually has any dialogue in this is her father Blitzen.
But yes,
bad dad.
Yeah, so
Blitzen gets the Bad Dad Award of the year. He does not know how to raise a child.
That's following in the trademarks of the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Rankin Bass movie, because like
who's Rudolph's dad in that?
I think it's Donner,
right?
But he's like, this is man's work. Shut up, and like smacks his wife or whatever. That doesn't really happen, but he seems like a bad dude.
This is how stupid I am. I paused the movie at one point, and I noticed I was an hour in, and it was only at this moment that I had the thought, oh, this is like Rudolph. That's how fucking long it took me. This story about like a reindeer who's a little bit different, and the other reindeer don't really like her. It took me a full hour to watch it be all like, oh, it's like Rudolph.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
So Santa Claus goes to bat for Blizzard and says, okay, well, it's great that we have a new addition to the herd. Yeah. So wonderful.
Everyone treat her like normal.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. He names her because apparently reindeer don't have autonomy of their own. And they don't get to like choose the name of their children, or really like are like kind of like low key allowed to speak until Santa addresses them directly. It's a little bit.
You look like a Blizzard to me. You will be Blizzard.
They're kind of second class citizen. Look, I just want to say, Santa. Look, if something starts fucking talking, then it has a soul, and if it has a soul, then it's allowed to have like the same rights and freedoms as everything else has.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
So Blizzard grows up, and she's like, she's a fantastic flyer. She's like easily like
just picks it up immediately. We don't even see the scene where she learns how to fly.
Yeah.
The first scene is like
she's faster than all the boy deer, and it's like
which is what they're called, boy deer. I like that.
Oh boy. Anyway.
Oh boy. I think you mean oh dear.
Oh dear.
All right, the show's over.
Yeah. And they just they say that she's a bit of a rule breaker, so she's already on Archimedes' shit list for flying at night when you need a authorization to do that and shit.
And like we see her earlier, and she's like a little baby, and then obviously time passes, and she grows into an adolescent reindeer, and she begins speaking with the voice of Whoopi Goldberg. And this is the unfortunate part of the episode where I have to say, in our mini-series about Whoopi Goldberg is badly miscast in this role.
Oh yeah,
like
she sounds like an older woman.
She's playing an adolescent reindeer that like doesn't like authority, and she's speaking with like the dulcet tones of like a 50-year-old woman who definitely spent several years smoking cigarettes.
Katie,
I'm sorry I scared you. Please, don't scream.
What are you?
I'm a reindeer from the North Pole. My name is Blizzard.
Santa's reindeer?
Yeah, you probably heard of my dad, Blitzen.
Do all of Santa's reindeer look like you?
No, I'm kind of special.
Like, it's like, no, like, it's like nothing about this. I mean, like, why not have gotten, oh, I don't know, let me just pick a name off the top of my head here. I don't know, how about someone like, I don't know, Cree...
Just say the name.
Cree Summer!
All right.
Why not get Cree Summer to voice, because that's an older woman, but at the very least, she can make herself sound like a younger person, but like, oh no, they probably wouldn't hire Cree Summer to voice a role in this movie. That seems ridiculous. Anyway, Cree Summer voices a reindeer named Aphrodite, who's sort of the antagonist.
The mean girl reindeer.
The mean girl reindeer.
Like, I guess she's jealous of
She's nothing
Blizzard.
at Blizzard because she can't fly and everything is... It's a very minor character, but like my question about this, though, is that like Aphrodite, she looks noticeably different from all of the other reindeer. Much more so than Blizzard does.
They gave her a crooked mouth, but I think that might just be like the real reindeer.
But she's also white, isn't she? I thought
she's got like a white snout.
She had like white fur. Although maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I'm just like, everyone's making fun of Blizzard for like looking different. She looks the same as literally any other reindeer, except she has like
a wig on,
a little tiny tuft, which you can't even notice unless you like really look at the reindeer.
Yeah, that's the other thing. All the reindeer in this movie look the fucking same.
They look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Except
for Aphrodite.
Yeah, except for this
she's
one
got a white
evil
snout.
reindeer.
Yeah.
And it's all like, why are they making fun of her for being different? Anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of the way the reindeer look, let's talk about the CGI in this movie. It's okay.
It's okay.
The mouth movements on them are ridiculous looking. But like, I love how when they're first shown talking, there's no real like huge focus on the first reindeer that speaks. The first reindeer we see speaking is Blitzen, and Santa Claus and Archimedes are in the same frame. And when the reindeer starts talking, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, the reindeer talk. How are they talking? Are they like doing the peanut butter thing? Or is it just? But no, it's just sort of like this flappy mouth that they give all the reindeer.
I mean, here's the other thing about reindeer, and there's like a lot of reindeer in this movie, and obviously they must have used like the actual animals.
Yeah, they use real reindeer for some scenes. They use puppet reindeers when they have to be ridden.
Oh man, there's one scene when Blizzard takes off for the first time, and it's literally someone is just moving a big stuffed reindeer in front of the camera. That was funny.
Yeah,
that was funny when that shit happened.
And then when they're flying, it's like watching the Quidditch scenes in the very first Harry Potter movie, and it's that level of CGI.
They don't actually look that bad when they're flying. It's not like photorealistic, but
it's flying reindeer.
Reindeer also don't fly,
yeah,
so it's like you can make that look however you want. The thing is like there's lots of reindeer in this movie, and the thing you pick up on very quickly is that reindeer are super goofy looking.
Yeah.
Like, their eyes are a little too far apart.
They're a little too bug-eyed, too.
They kind of have, like, a chihuahua thing going on. And there's lots... So, basically, anytime the camera is, like, pointed directly, like, head-on at Blizzard, it looks like she's always going, like the entire... It's really quite funny. When she has to say, like, this, like... So, like, Katie, you're my best friend, and we'll get through this together. But it's just like she's just like looking off in two different directions.
I don't know how easy it is to train reindeer.
I can't imagine it's that
but
easy.
They don't look like they're super comfortable being on film. I'm not implying that like the people were abusive to these animals. No. I'm sure LeVar Burton has a heart of gold and would never let anything bad happen to this reindeer. I just think
I'm sure they had all the right people on set.
I'm just saying, reindeer are probably naturally skittish.
They are wild animals.
And they don't like being around cameras and having a lot of chaos around them.
It might have been a thing where they had, like, 3 reindeer, and then they just copy and pasted that one reindeer into, like, a bunch of other scenes, like, whatever you needed to do.
Yeah.
Like, Blitzen was also playing, Donner was also playing, well, Blizzard. It doesn't have to be, could be anything. Could be any gender.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
So, yeah, Blizzard...
Movie magic!
Yeah, so Blizzard breaks that flying at night rule, and she's put in the pen. She's labeled as grounded, and so they lock her in a pen. Actually, they don't lock the door, but she gets out of the pen because she finds out that she has yet another reindeer gift.
Well, you don't lock your kids in your room when you ground them.
No.
Well, maybe some parents do, but they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they just ground it. That's why it's not locked. Yeah.
Anyways, then we find out that she can turn invisible, and this is the part where I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick up this movie in the morning. I'm way too fucking tired to watch the rest of this. So
that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, they turn invisible so the children don't see them. You gotta go, you know.
I just thought it was Christmas magic.
It was Christmas magic. There was a scene where, as Aunt Millie is like narrating this thing, she has like a line that's along the lines of like, months went by and everyone at the North Pole only had one thing on their mind: Christmas. And I'm like, you don't fucking say. You're telling me the people who live at the North Pole are thinking about they're thinking about that every fucking day of the year.
They have an exclusive toy making business that's focused on one day.
Whole jam.
It's their whole economy.
That's all they do, Aunt Millie.
Just prep for Christmas.
So Blizzard is a little sweet on Donner Jr.
Yeah, DJ.
I almost said Don Jr. That's a very different movie.
Yeah.
DJ,
as he's called.
He's all like, I like your hair, reminds me of my dad.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Donner Jr. And we find out that we find out from like Santa, whoever, that's all like, oh, Blizzard can turn invisible, but like only like the Donner lineage can do that.
So Delphi's got some explaining to do.
That's also the thing. But it also made me think, is all like, okay, you say lineage. How far back does that go? Because like how Santa must be, you know, immortal or whatever.
Sure,
so he's been around for an indeterminate amount of time. So like, how are we just at Donner Jr.? This should be like Donner the Fourth by this point.
I mean, this goes back to Christopher Plummer just doing Gandalf, because he does talk about, like, you know, the Blitzen, the grandson of the famous, like, this dynasty of reindeer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he does mention, like, reindeer kings of eons ago and everything.
Yeah, because you can't just say the Donner lineage and then the lineage is just like 2 reindeer. That's not a lineage. Yeah.
Always just assumed that his reindeer were immortal too. Everything at the North Pole would have to be immortal.
Anyway, checking back in with our A, is this the A story or is this the B story?
Who cares?
Oh, yeah.
I did like that one part where like Aunt Millie goes back to talking about them, and Jesse's just like, no, this sounds boring. Go back to talking about Santa and the reindeer and the elves and shit. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree. This is way more interesting and fun.
It's because Katie is a very sheltered, coddled child, and when Aunt Millie's story gets to the point where Katie has to move away from Otto, her skating instructor, Jesse immediately shuts that shit down to me, and it's just all like, I don't like this part. You know what? I'm gonna dictate how you tell the story, Aunt Millie.
Yeah.
None of this moving away shit. Even though you started telling me this story
to try and cheer me up,
and teach me a moral about moving away and whatnot. I'm shutting it down.
And Aunt Millie's like, okay. Well, but I can't really divulge the third secret reindeer power unless you know this part of the story. Right. So she kind of dangles that over her head. So Katie doesn't like living in the city. She can't afford a membership to the skating rink where the snobby rich girls skate at.
Oh, when that little shit got out of the car
with the shawl and everything.
I was just all like, here comes trouble.
There it is. There's the sports movie arrival. The mean rich girl. Yeah.
Yeah, and like literally, like the first thing that this kid does is like come out of a car. Her butler or chauffeur hands her skate. She's like, "Thank you, Jeffrey." She meets her 2 shitty little friends. They just look at Katie, and then they start laughing. It's all like, she likes what we like.
Yeah,
we have similar interests.
Members,
what a bitch.
Members only. Get away from us, you street urchin.
Fucking riffraff.
Aaron's all upset.
Aaron is the name of the shitty little girl. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Katie is upset. I guess like she's roughhousing with her brothers because they steal like a music box that we never see her get. And
okay, hold on, keep going because I have a point about this, but keep going.
And in the chaos at the North Pole, Blitzen Blizzard. Jesus Christ!
I'm gonna do that all the way too. It's fine. Yeah.
The Whoopi Goldberg deer.
It's the name of the movie, Blizzard.
Yeah,
she Dairy Queen.
Her third secret reindeer power is triggered, and
they get really specific about it. What do they call it?
Oh god,
empathy.
Empathetic navigation.
Empathetic navigation.
She's basically clairvoyant.
And what happens is at this particular moment when her 2 shithead little brothers break this music box, which has never been established.
It would make sense if it was a going away gift from Otto, but it wasn't.
Nope. I wrote down 3 separate times, no, seriously, is this music box important? But apparently, Katie's cry of pain and anguish at that particular moment on Earth is the most sorrowful cry of pain and anguish. There are no other children on the planet Earth that are going through more pain and torment than this little girl who got her shit smashed and right now, and Blizzard picks up on this, and she can like clairvoyantly see through time, and she's all like, I don't know who that little girl is, but I must go to her.
A little white girl's in trouble. I must go to her.
That's exactly it.
So yeah, So Blizzard meets her at night and says like, "Hey, I'm a talking reindeer. I guess I'm your guardian angel or whatever the fuck." And what are you so upset about?
That is basically the plot of the movie. It's like, I guess I'm your guardian angel or whatever the fuck. That's exactly.
And she's like, "Well, gee whiz, talking reindeer. I sure do miss skating." She's like, "Well, tell you what, I'll fly you to that pond and we can have this really nice little ballet where I'm flying next to you and you're skating on the ice." And
it's all like, oh, are you going to show like the entirety of my skating routine?
Yep.
So like, you sure know it. It's nothing but this for the next 4 minutes. And it's a very nice scene.
It is.
The music is very light and whimsical. You know, as we said before, the young actress is very good and very light on her feet. Blizzard looks very fun and whimsical, like twirling and flipping around her.
The music's nice.
It's a nice scene. I just stopped and I just watched the movie for a little while at this point.
Like, this is nice.
There's nothing wrong with this. This is nice.
And then Melissa says, "Yes, it was truly a friendship for the ages. It's just such a shame." And Jesse's like, "Oh no!" And so, no, something really good actually happened before all the trouble started. Anyways, we cut to the news that Otto died.
Yeah. I feel like we jumped ahead for two things. Two things we forgot to talk about. One, there's like the moment before Katie moves away where she shows off her skating moves to her family, and it's the first time she kind of shuts up her shitty little brothers. And there's
Otto shuts them up.
There's maybe like the funniest moment of the movie where like, because Katie's parents do not fucking discipline their sons at all. They let them fucking run around. They like don't tell them to stop misbehaving at all. It's all like sit down and watch your fucking sister's skating routine. It's fine. And Otto just like skates over
like a creepy ex-KGB agent is just like,
silence. If you want to live another day.
yeah.
And it's fucking great.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I wish someone had said that like 12 minutes ago.
Like,
That would be great.
God damn.
But we forgot to mention, Blizzard meets like her best friend who's in the North Pole. She meets Jeremy the elf, who we gotta talk about these elves, because like I guess elves are just like regular sized people.
I kept looking to see if they had the pointed ears, and I think maybe they did, but they don't emphasize it.
A lot of them are wearing hats.
Yeah.
I feel like their ears are like slightly pointed, but they don't really emphasize on it. But they're all regular sized people, except for one little person. Did you know, like on the way to Santa's workshop at the very beginning, there's like a bouncer elf who's like a really tall guy, and then next to him they have like an actual little person actor, and I'm all like, oh, okay. And then we're still getting accumulated to like the elves and everything like that. I'm all like, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, no, that's the only elf-sized actor I saw in this. Everyone else is just my size.
I just think it's pretty cool that it was a pretty diverse culture of elves. Take that, Rings of Power.
They got one of everything.
Yeah.
Rings of Power is a diverse.
Yeah, but this movie was doing it first. And no one had a problem with that.
Well, but then you should have said, take that, Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
That was that's the white elf thing. Anyway, Jeremy is an elf. Kevin Pollak gives him shit for not shoveling snow
the proper
width or whatever. Yeah, he pulls out his fucking tape measure. Blizzard is invisible, so she gives him the what for, and they become best friends, and they go night flying, and they come up with nicknames for each other. Jeremy is Luggage, because he's on Blizzard's back, and because Jeremy one time says, hey, don't crash,
he calls her Crash.
Even though she never crashes once. But I feel like that's important, because he is a relatively important character. He does come back quite a bit.
Relatively important character that comes in like after the half-hour mark of this movie. Yeah. This movie does have a bit of a problem with like introducing and setting up his characters.
This movie really sets up like its world. Like it takes like a really long time before we get to the like I think you mentioned, like I think it takes like a solid like 25 minutes before we're at the North Pole.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it's all...
In a movie about Santa Claus and reindeer.
It's all just this setup, and it's like 2 long ice skating scenes. And then it's like, oh, by the way, Santa Claus is here.
Yeah, and this is all a story to help Jessie get over, like, losing her best friend that happens at the very start of this movie.
I'm just saying, like...
It's a long walk.
The figure skating is nice, it's well done, it's well shot. I'm just saying... They maybe could have fleshed out certain chunks of the story and world building a little bit more. They could have maybe taken one of the skating scenes out and maybe explained how like fast travel works.
Nope, because we got to get to a figure skating competition. That Jessie. No, what is her name? Katie enters. She impresses the coach at the rink, so she says, "You know what? We're gonna put you on the team." Let me worry about like the fees and shit.
The coach takes her into her office and she's all, "How'd you learn to skate that well?" And she said, "Oh, you know, Otto Brewer, he was like my coach." And he's so like, Otto Brewer, the gold medal winner, he never took on anyone as a student. And she turns around and she just happens to have a framed photo of Otto Brewer when he was a young man on her mantle. It's the only photo she has. I'm like, all right, you need to explain that.
Oh man, you know what you just reminded me of? When Otto's daughter comes by to give her the news that he died, he bequeaths her his gold medal. Yeah, and the daughter says like, oh, he always talked about you. He felt such pride in you, and he could see a lot of promise and potential. Do you think the daughter was upset she didn't get this amount of love from her dad?
Yeah, was the daughter...
Was she a huge disappointment to him?
Did the daughter ever have any aspirations for becoming a skater at all?
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't even know if the daughter gets a name.
My dad wanted you, a girl he knew for maybe half a year, to have a gold medal.
It seems like he takes her on as a student on a whim.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem like he sees anything in her. It's just kind of all like, I will train you.
Here's a gold medal that I was going to inherit, but I guess it's yours now.
Exactly. Like, it really seems he takes Katie on as a student strictly because it's like, well, I will die soon.
Yeah.
So I might as well.
My daughter is too old to begin the training.
She is too old to begin the training. She is too old to be a Jedi Master.
Yeah.
And also figure skater.
So yeah, the competition is Katie and Aaron. But
and presumably some other girls, but who cares?
These are the two main girls, yeah.
Are we at that already? I get like a bunch of stuff happens.
Oh yeah,
before.
Tons of shit happens. Yeah.
Like the mean girls are like mean and Katie, and they say she has chicken skates because her skates are yellow. That raised the question in my mind: when did yellow become associated with chickens? Because chickens aren't yellow.
No, but baby chicks are.
You know what? You just blew the lid right off of this.
You know, I didn't even have to think about it.
Scorch the earth. Nothing will grow.
Were you begging your head on this?
No, I was just thinking, like, because I know like rubber chickens are yellow, but it's like, I don't know. Is there like a variation of chicken that's like yellow? I don't know. I guess baby chicks are.
I think it's funny that both chicken and yellow are euphemisms for cowardice.
Cowardice. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is funny because like chickens are anything but cowards. Chickens will like charge right at you and like keep pecking you until you kick them off. Like they're vicious birds.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I know. Donner Jr. can also fly. I'm sorry. I just read. It was either that or just saying blizzard.
Yeah.
Where are we?
But speaking of the reindeer, Aphrodite somehow finds out that Blizzard can go invisible and is sneaking off to the human world and shit. So, she rats out to Archimedes.
Yeah, she's a snitch.
Yeah.
Archimedes is all like, I'm gonna get that reindeer.
Next time I catch her in the act, she will be imprisoned and punished for life.
He's not doing a French accent.
You don't think so?
No, I couldn't fucking figure out what he was doing because he's not going like this. He's literally doing Triumph the Insult comic talk.
Okay,
it's like, aha! I am this. It's like
maybe that's what he thinks a French Canadian accent is, because this movie is shot in Quebec.
I'll tell you what it is. It's foreign man. Is what it is. It's what comedians think like foreign people sound like.
Yeah, look at my crazy passport.
I'm not from here. I'm from somewhere else. Put in an H.
Katie's skates are sabotaged by Aaron
in a scene that we don't see, but like as soon as they fall apart, and we're like, okay, well we can connect the dots. We know what's going on here.
So during a late night of practice, she calls in Blitzen through her heart powers. And Blizzard comes by and says, okay, well, I'll take you to the North Pole and I'll, coerce my friend Jeremy to fix some skates for you. No, just to, What the fuck happens?
Okay,
they
so
go to
here's the
Santa's.
thing.
She takes her to Santa's village.
Takes her to the North Pole.
Hang
Santa's village.
Hang out with Jeremy for a bit. I'm gonna go steal some skates, which is like.
Well, she said, okay. She purposefully says she's going to borrow some skates.
Right.
And this is where Blizzard gets into a bunch of trouble because she breaks like Archimedes' 3 most important rules, including the number 1 most important rule at Christmas.
Don't steal another kid's toy.
Don't steal a toy that is meant for another child. Also, don't bring humans to the North Pole. Don't
go AWOL.
Yeah, don't do everything you're currently doing, Blizzard. But like the number 1 rule is if there's a toy that is made for another child, it has to go to that child. You cannot take it for any other purpose. Now, here's my question. The North Pole is obviously like a whole society. People live there, people work there, they have relationships, they have time off. One assumes Santa isn't a bit of a slave driver or whatever.
Nice.
I'm
pretty
sure
chill.
there is extracurricular activity. You're telling me that no one at the North Pole goes ice skating for fun. Blizzard had to take the skates she had to take were specifically skates that were made for another child. There wasn't like an elf skating rink she could have gone to. And you're telling me that no one at the North Pole has skates for any other purpose. They only exist so that you can give them to children. Furthermore, when Blizzard meets Katie for the first time and they're getting to know each other, Blizzard has a line where she says, "What are ice skates?" And I'm like, I fucking call bullshit on this.
Yeah, good point.
You live at the North Pole. That is something that you would know what that is.
So which is it, Blizzard? Which is it, LeVar Burton?
Which is it? Inquiring minds need to know. And I have a third point about this, but I'll have to bring it up at the very end of when we get to the end of the synopsis. So remind me that there is something else I wanted to say about this. But so Blizzard takes a pair of ice skates that were meant for someone else, and she flies Katie back.
Just in time.
Literally just in time. How much time does it take to get to the North Pole?
A long time, I'm going to assume. But what I think is insane is that the competition is already going around and her parents are already there.
Right!
Like, they're even looking around like...
They must have woken up and noticed she was gone.
I thought you were taking her. I thought you... Like, nothing like that. They're like, well, I fucking hope our kid shows up alive.
Otherwise, we're just here to clap for no reason. I mean, I guess one could have assumed maybe that it's all like, Katie's not here, I guess we'll go
just
to
go
the
anyways,
ring
like...
in the hopes that she shows up.
Yeah, I booked time off work for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, she shows up and she wins.
And that's a big point of contention for him because he lost his previous job. So, like, his job is important. He can't just book time off work.
Yeah.
It's important.
So, both Katie and Aaron win the competition.
They tie?
They tie, I guess, yeah.
Or are there 2 winners?
They're from the same school of figure skating, so I assume they were on a team. And they were up against other teams.
I don't know, but either way, they are both the winners of this competition.
And Aaron is impressed with her skating and concedes like that was actually really good, and she really mellows out. And then we find the movie's true villain, her father.
This movie takes a dark turn.
This takes a super fucking dark turn. Because
we see this cigar-chomping motherfucker sitting in the stands, and at first I didn't know what the association was because this character's never been introduced before, so at first I thought he was like a talent scout or something, but no, we quickly learn that this is Aaron's father. Her mother's never seen, so supposedly this is like a single-parent situation, but he's like the worst kind of
sports
parent or whatever. His daughter tied for first, but apparently that's not good enough.
He chews her out in the locker room, says like, you were skating like a loser.
He's so cruel.
Yeah.
That was pathetic, Aaron. Do you hear me? Pathetic.
Daddy, I did my best.
Well, it's obvious to me that wasn't very good. Now, you're going to have to do a lot better than that if you want to win the city championship. And you do want to win the championship, don't you, Aaron? I can't hear you, Aaron. You want to be a champion?
Yes, Daddy.
Then skate like one and not like some pathetic loser.
And like, look, like all of the kid acting in this movie is pretty good. Like when Aaron breaks down in tears, I believe that little girl is like going through like something very traumatic.
Well, she had a grown ass man yelling at her. That's like
full on screaming in her face.
She
came in first.
She won!
She won the thing! It's wild.
Yeah.
It's a wild moment. I'm just like, God damn, LeVar!
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
And it just gets dark from there because we quickly find out that Erin didn't go home after the skating practice.
She just ran out into the snow.
She ran away from home. She gets scared by a coughing hobo, and then she runs onto.
She gets scared by a cop. I forgot about that. That's really funny.
But she runs directly onto a frozen lake. And it's thin ice, and the damn stuff starts cracking.
And then Blizzard starts having her fucking dead zone moment, and she turns to fucking Kate, like, the ice is gonna break. So Blizzard and Katie zoom off. They fly through the air because Erin is sinking into the ice.
The ice actually breaks and she falls into that lake. Have you ever been in a frozen lake?
Oh yeah, you get hyperthermia immediately.
Oh yeah, your muscles constrict.
You're dead.
Yeah,
and this little girl is outside in the cold air for quite some time.
It's harrowing, and
after that,
her grips slip a couple of times as she's trying to get lifted out of the.
And here's the thing: so Kate is on Blizzard's back.
Well, on the puppet's back.
She's holding her hand out. She's like, "Grab my hand, Erin," and they keep slipping, and they keep slipping, and I just keep screaming at my TV, "Take your fucking woolen mittens off!"
I was just like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!
What's happening? Please, come on!
What's happening?
Of course, you can't get a good grip. You're wearing a big chunky glove. Take it off!"
What's happening in this delightful children's movie about talking animals? This is ridiculous.
So they save Erin.
And she's like, "Oh, this is my friend Blizzard."
They drop her like, "Thank you for saving my life." Holy shit, a talking reindeer.
Yeah, you might want to give Erin a minute.
Maybe it's the hypothermia immediately setting in. Maybe she's just all like, maybe I'm imagining this, but that looks like a fucking talking reindeer right now. Holy shit.
And so Blizzard's like, "Okay, well, I'm really glad I get up. I really got to get back to the North Pole. I'm on Archimedes' shit list right now."
Yeah.
And
And then Erin's dad rolls up. He hugs his daughter, and nothing was ever a problem in that family again. He was totally cool from that day on. There's no further trauma that we need to dive into there. Everything's totally fine with Erin now. We can gloss right past that.
I'm a happy ending after all. All it took was So one of my favorite parts in this movie happens right after that, where Katie's like waving goodbye to Blizzard, and then she's like something startles her, like she just remembered something, and before it gets out of her, it smash cuts to our framing device where the little girl's listening to her own story, and she goes, "The skates!" And I'm like, "Oh shit, you're right. I forgot about the skates."
And I was sitting there, I'm like, "Oh shit, I forgot about the framing device." I forgot that this was a story within a story. Holy shit.
I had never seen a movie.
It's been like 40 minutes since we can check back in with you.
I was so startled by that, and I was on board with that, and I thought that was an amazing, great director choice. Good cut, LeVar Burton.
Yes.
I was right there
All
with
of these
with the
creative
characters.
decisions were 100% LeVar Burton's sole choice. Yes.
I choose to believe that.
Hey, speaking of LeVar Burton, we forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, he's like a night watchman.
When Blizzard goes to borrow the skates, LeVar gives himself a little Hitchcock cameo. No dialogue. He's just like the night watchman elf. He does like a double take. He's like, "Ha-ha! No one's there."
There better not be an invisible deer around here.
Better not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch that reindeer and I'm gonna throw him in reindeer jail. But don't take my word for it.
Yeah. But yeah,
How many of those can I drop in one episode?
I don't know. That was an amazing reaction between Katie and Jesse.
Keep going. I gotta get something.
Sure. So we get a call. Well, Katie gets a call from Jeremy.
On the telephone.
Yeah, on the telephone. Hey, he's. I gotta call you because we don't see it, but Blizzard's in trouble. Archimedes found out about like all the rule breaking that she's been doing, and
there's a moment where like Jeremy is like Jeffrey.
Jeremy the elf. Good name.
There's a moment where Jeremy's running around. He's trying to find Blizzard. He's like running down like the streets of like Santa's workshop or whatever, and he stops and Donner Jr. and Blizzard are like standing there. They're having a discussion. And he like runs past him. He's all like, "There you are!" And that's the moment I go like, bullshit. You recognize those fucking reindeer? Bullshit. You can tell these reindeer apart just by running past them. I call shenanigans.
That is Christmas magic.
That's Christmas shenanigans right there. But Blizzard's in trouble.
So he rides Don Jr. into the city so they can pick up the skates and clear her name because she is going to because Archimedes calls for a council of the elders.
And he hits a big red button.
How deep is this fucking Santa Claus lore? I have never heard a thing.
Here's the thing. Take out one of these fucking ice skating things, build this Santa Claus lore a little bit like this. This is an interesting mythology that you've built up here.
Yeah.
Writers of this movie, none of whom are LeVar Burton, but I'm going to associate it with LeVar Burton. Yeah, tell me a little bit more about like how this Santa Claus works. This is kind of interesting. Not really enough Plumber in this movie. I could use a little bit more.
I mean, he comes back at this point.
He does.
Because they have to have the trial of Blizzard, the reindeer.
But also, like, and this is like the big tension of the movie. Is all like Katie has to run back and she has to explain what happened so Santa won't banish Blizzard from the North Pole to live out her days in exile. And it's all like, look, this Santa seems like a pretty fucking cool guy. Like, I'm sure if you just explained the situation, he's not gonna like fucking it's not fucking like Christopher Plummer playing fucking J. Paul Getty as fucking Santa Claus going like, I'm not gonna pay a red cent. They're not gonna get one jingle bell out of old Saint Nick. Not one penny.
I don't get that reference, but I'm gonna assume you're right on the money.
Right. All the money in the world.
Okay. I don't get that.
The people at home will get that.
I got you.
Right.
So, DJ takes Katie back to the North Pole.
Leaving Jeremy on a roof that he cannot get down from
in the middle of a snowstorm.
I guess he's fine because he's he looks cold. He doesn't look like he's presumably going to be there for hours. But he happily says like, that's fine, just leave. I'm not important. So I'm like 8th build on this cast list. I'm basically a day player.
I was introduced 40 minutes into this movie. They go to the courthouse or church, whatever the fuck it is, where Archimedes is reading out his fucking the laundry list of crimes that Blizzard did.
It's like the court of Santa Claus or whatever, and it's so clearly just like a church in Toronto or whatever that I guess was like totally fine with all of this blasphemy happening because it's got Santa Claus sitting on a golden throne. There's like elves and reindeer in the stands. So I'm like, this is a very progressive church that's letting them fucking film that. It's all like, whatever. Churches need to get paid too.
Sure, yeah. Yes, and then Blizzard pleads her case, and that's when she reveals the truth that she has all these supernatural reindeer powers. She's got all three, and no deer has ever had all three.
All three of the magical reindeer gifts.
And Santa's like, well, that's very...
Sorry, hold on. From Christopher Plummer, in my best Plummer cadence. Why, you have all three of the special reindeer gifts. I can't do it. I can't do it nearly as good as him, but just like, God damn it.
You're no Christopher Plummer. I hate to tell you, Kaz, but...
Well... One day.
Yeah, someday.
I got that DNA. I got a little vial of Plumber DNA.
Okay.
I'm just gonna synthesize it. Little mini. You're gonna next episode. You're gonna see a little mini Plumber running around.
Yeah.
He's not. He won't be mic ready yet. But he'll be doing stuff.
Okay.
We're almost done this movie.
Okay. So Blizzard explains why she's above the law. and then that's when Kitty comes by and says like, wait, I've returned the skates, so they're not stolen anymore. And it's like, yeah, but the crime was still committed, and you got to make an example of that kind of shit, but like Santa, like,
it's pole law.
Santa, like, at one point he's like, well, you're right, like, Archimedes can be pretty strict sometimes. However, like, rules are meant to be, and like, we need them for society to function. So tell you what.
I love the resolution of the Kevin Pollak character is literally just Santa Claus just going, shut up.
Yeah.
Sit down and shut up.
You're an asshole.
And
like,
he doesn't say anything. And that's it. That's the end of Kevin Pollak's arc in this movie.
Yeah, that's the end of his dialogue, and he looks like, okay, I'm kind of done with my part of the movie is done, but I'm still in this scene, so
like he's looking off camera, just going like, I can get out of makeup, right?
Yeah.
I can go.
He's looking around like, how old is this church? But so he says, tell you what, like, Blizzard can stay at the North Pole, but you can't hang out with her anymore. Right. You can't visit the human village.
Tying in Aunt Millie's moral of the story is that sometimes you need to move away from people. I just want to highlight this one thing when Santa Claus says Blizzard will not be exiled. She's not going to be punished. Everyone cheers, and there's this one brief little moment where they get the reindeer to make like a reindeer noise, and then they said it's like that looks a little weird. Whoopi, can you make like a reindeer noise that we will put over top of this reindeer noise? So there's like a half second where Whoopi Goldberg just goes like, and it was really funny.
It certainly can be said that there is no higher expression of the Christmas spirit than the giving of oneself, with no thought of return or of personal consequences. All right, Katie Andrews, I'll grant you your Christmas wish and give Blizzard another chance.
I'll see if I can isolate. That's really. I mean, there's one part at the beginning where Santa says like, "Oh, Blizzard the reindeer can stay with our herd." She's like, "Welcome to our family," and like all the elves cheer, and then like Blitzen kind of rears up like the pent up horny stag that real deer likely was on set.
Yeah. Oh, he's happy because his daughter's on. Sure, that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the animal handlers are trying to restrain him off camera.
Oh, he's hugging that other reindeer
from behind. Al Millie explains like the moral of the story there is that I didn't even tell you about like the 3 gifts that Santa bestowed upon Katie. She did get a new pair of skates. She got a new best friend in Aaron, who they had a lifelong friendship with, and she got the most important gift of all, the memories of her time with Blizzard, which I thought was very sweet and sentimental.
All she had to do was close her eyes, and then her friend is with her all the time, which is how that works. If you're alone this Christmas, just close your eyes, and your friend will be right there, and then maybe they'll zoom right over. And they'll be invisible.
But only if they're a clairvoyant superpowered deer.
Okay, so before we talk about this movie's amazing final twist, which I'm sure no one has guessed by now, here's the other thing I wanted to bring up with this. So as you said, Katie is gifted the gift of a pair of new ice skates. So, did that happen after the fact? Or was she always going to get a pair of ice skates from Santa for Christmas? So technically speaking, were the ice skates even stolen? Were they not hers to begin with if she was getting a pair to begin with? This is like a weird fucking like Back to the Future type thing. If Marty never went back in time, is that why he and Doc are friends at the beginning of the movie?
It was entrapment. This was Archimedes trying to set her up.
Exactly.
He was looking for an excuse.
Because she was always going to get them, so they were hers to begin with anyway.
Yeah.
Or did Santa decide after the fact, is all like, oh, Katie, yeah, maybe I'll just change. I was going to give her this shitty wooden train, but you know what? This is much better. There you go. I don't know. But then Aunt Millie says, like, I got one more present for you. It's over here. It's in my chest, my comically sized chest of drawers that I brought with me.
I'm the whimsical fancy aunt. So,
and she, even though she's a pretty normal broad.
Yeah. Well, I kept thinking, okay, so what MacGuffin have we been hinting at for this movie? Is it the yellow skates from earlier in the story? Is it the music box that only showed up once or twice? There's got to be some item, and it turned out to be Otto's gold medal.
Because Millie has a middle name, and guess what? It's Katie.
Yeah.
It was her the entire time. Merry Christmas.
I was like, wait, she stole Otto's medal? Wait, she's Katie?
Yeah,
but her name's Millie. And then you look at the initials, and it's...
I actually had to rewind because that went by really fast.
What?
It basically just shows her initials on the outside of her chest. And it's MK whatever.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
So growing up, she just went by her middle name.
Yeah.
God, that was so
but she's the one telling the story, right? So she could have named the child in the movie Katie, even though it's all like, perhaps, I guess her 10-year-old niece wouldn't know what her aunt's middle name is. It's
but there's a better way you could have done that. You could have just done like a name that has like a very unconventional nickname, like Wilhelmina, but she goes by Billy to her friends.
Sure.
Or maybe her initials are Mac. So like in the flashback, she goes by Mac, but her initials spell out.
We would have figured
Mildred.
that out. Yeah.
So
anyway, she was Katie the entire time, and
Derek comes a courting.
Derek, he's got a brand new sled. He's got like a cool new sled.
Yeah.
And Katie's ready to, you know what? She's ready to love again. She's ready to get back out there. So they go sledding, and Aunt Millie closes her eyes, and and she
Says-
gets like this creepy smile on her face. She goes, "Merry Christmas, Blizzard."
And we cut to Blizzard flying with
her family, 'cause
DJ and her
married
two kids.
married Don Jr. She's married into power.
And she very awkwardly says, "Merry Christmas, Mildred Katie Andrews."
Just did you get it? And for those in the back, if you didn't get it, they're the same person.
Like, holy shit.
Merry Christmas, Mildred Katie Andrews.
And that's Blizzard.
that was Blizzard, yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that I missed.
You didn't think when Blizzard was a baby she looked like a cow?
Well, they probably got like a baby cow to like hammer home the fact is all like this is a different reindeer. There's something different going on here.
Like,
but also I don't know what baby reindeer look like. Maybe they look like cows. I'm gonna Google baby reindeer right now.
Good question. I was thinking, like, do they have to do that substitution because reindeer are like really super protective of their young, and like there would be just mounds of trouble if they tried to convince this as a baby reindeer? Or is it that adult reindeer are really big in real life, and so all these ones in the movie are adolescents?
Yeah.
So you had to get something a little smaller than an adolescent reindeer? I don't know.
This just in, baby reindeer look nothing like cows. That was a calf.
Okay.
That was a cow. That was a cow baby that I guess grew into a baby reindeer look nothing like.
That's why that's why Archimedes had a problem
Yeah.
with it. Is like, this is not a reindeer, this is a cow.
This is a cow. Get it out and throw it on the fire. It's a woman.
Fashion la vache. Is a cow in the fly.
Yeah, fuck, I got nothing else. All right. Anyway, that was Blizzard.
Yeah.
Does it have a certain something, or is it a whole lot of nothing?
I think it's got a certain something.
I think this movie absolutely has a certain something. It's not like, it's not like one of like the new Christmas canon or anything like that.
But outside of the opening being incredibly chaotic, once this movie finds its footing, it's, as you're saying, very charming. And then there's like some real I got a real emotional charge out of seeing poor Erin getting chewed out by her dad, almost falling through the ice and dying.
Yeah.
And the very nice sentimental
that's
message.
like a minor character. That's not even like that's a character who's introduced like over an hour into this movie.
And within like 5 minutes of that happen, I'm so emotionally invested in someone who I just immediately pegged as the rich mean girl character. And whatever, I think that is a very sweet message at the end, that like, even if there is a great distance between your friends, the memories that you share will be with you forever. Look, that's a very nice message.
Just off the top of my head, these aren't even all movies that I've seen, but just off the top of my head, here are some Christmas movies that I know exist.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah.
Deck the Halls with Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick. Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure.
I'm noticing a pattern. You're
Pops Alone! Blizzard is fine.
Yes.
It's not, like, amazing. It's not going to, watch this every year, but, like, it is perfectly innocent and, like, actually a little good.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing, not a thing wrong with this movie. Christopher Plummer is the GOAT. He's a criminally underrated Santa Claus. Yeah. Also, a little bit of trivia. He's one of the only actors to have played Santa Claus and Ebenezer Scrooge. Ah. He's got the two pillars.
Wow.
Of Christmas storytelling. It's just those two.
If only he did like a radio play of The Grinch.
Yes. From Beyond the Grave.
Yeah.
We can get them.
That's what I'm saying. If only.
We don't need another fucking Grinch adaptation.
Okay.
Every time they make a new Grinch, a little part of my heart shrinks 5 sizes that day. Gotcha. Anyway, Blizzard, we recommend it. Yeah, it's pretty good. LeVar Burton should direct more movies.
He should, yeah.
Like an actual movie that should get released in theaters. Yeah. The other thing that I never got around to mentioning, because it never really came up and it never even like showed up in the credits, is that at the very least for the theatrical distribution of this movie was released by YTV.
Oh, I can see that.
It's one of the only YTV films that ever got released, and it had like maybe like a 2-week run in Canadian theaters. Yeah, and then probably only plays on YTV during the Christmas thing.
I can't even think of another YTV movie.
No,
they did not have original programming. No, other than like PJ Katie's Farm or whatever the fuck.
They saw what Nickelodeon were doing is all like some of that maybe, and then they made one movie. And
we don't have
we
don't have the budget for we blew it all in making this TV with eyes and teeth. Remember that?
Remember Snit?
Yeah.
Didn't they find out later that you could purchase Snit off the internet. Snit was up for sale.
Well,
he was in like
now
an
you tell
auction
me.
or something.
Now you tell me.
Oh my god! I just spent all this money on a new TV. I could have been snit. I could have been snitting. No one outside of Canada has any idea what we're talking about.
Well, rest assured, everyone in Canada was smitten by Snit.
They were snitting.
They were snitting.
They were snitting kittens.
So that's 3 movies we covered of Whoopi Goldberg. So
did we learn anything?
What did we learn about Whoopi Goldberg?
We learned that she's not a very good voice actor. She can't really. she can sound like Whoopi Goldberg, and Whoopi Goldberg doing an accent. That's it. Those are her 2 things that she does.
She's got a very motherly tone to her voice,
Yes.
which I think is soothing to children's entertainment, and it works well when she's playing like a fairy godmother or whatever the fuck she was.
Yeah.
Or like a
baseball bat?
A sassy supernatural bat. She can't play a teenage reindeer to save her
No,
life.
I think maybe that was one step too far for Whoopi. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Cast her within her age.
Right.
She sounds like a lady of a certain age.
But one thing I have learned is that, she seems to delight in doing children's entertainment or things for kids, which is... that's wholesome and nice. And now I can safely say that, remember on the telephone when you chewed me out for only ever seeing Tammy and the T-Rex as my only Whoopi Goldberg movie?
I think you're thinking of Theodore Rex.
Theodore Rex.
I don't remember that, but that's shocking.
Well, now I've seen 5 Whoopi Goldberg movies.
Right.
The Telephone, Theodore Rex, Pinocchio 3000, and Everyone's Hero, and this one.
Are we gonna go over shit? Like, that's wild. I don't even remember you saying that, but you've never seen Sister Act?
Never.
You've never seen... what are the other canonical
like
Whoopi Goldberg
Girl
movies?
Interrupted, I think.
I mean, she's in that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that a Whoopi Goldberg
Ghost.
movie, but she's in that.
Haven't seen that.
You haven't seen Ghost?
Haven't seen Ghost.
Oh, you gotta see
I've
Ghost.
seen the band Ghost. They're great.
Hey,
if it's anything like that, I'm in.
Well, close enough. You never seen Eddie? Remember when she bought the Knicks?
Nope.
That's the plot of a movie.
Haven't seen Jumpin' Jack Flash.
What if Whoopi Goldberg bought the Knicks? That's an entire movie that exists. The Associate.
Nope.
What if Whoopi Goldberg did some business?
Nope.
That's it. That's that plot. I don't know. Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. What if Sister Act again? What if she was back?
Yeah.
In the habit.
Nope, haven't seen it.
No, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
but now I've seen 5.
but you've seen the important ones.
I can close the book on.
You've seen the canon.
That was a bit of a blind spot for me.
You've
but
seen
now,
Pinocchio 3000.
I've seen the ones that were worth.
You've seen Blizzard, and of course,
the Lion King. I
you've
guess.
seen Theodore Rex.
Of course, yeah.
Yes. But there we go. We've closed the book on that.
So thank you for this opportunity, Cass.
We have one more episode to go, and then
Yeah.
2022 will be in the bag, and that will be our first official year under the banner of Nothing Movies.
Yeah.
Done. And you can expect more of that. You can expect us to continue to do this until we get tired of doing this, but we're not there yet.
No, or like the eventual heat death of the universe, or one of us gets hit by a bus.
I'm willing to go beyond the heat death of the universe.
Okay.
I'm willing to let that happen, and then that's when we start our Denzel Washington miniseries. It goes heat death, then Denzel, because Denzel hasn't been in too many Nothing movies. So we should keep it. There's
a few actors that are going to be really hard for us to do, or just like not even worth.
But we'll get there.
We'll try to.
We've covered all the important ones: Schwarzenegger, Hamill, of course, Linda Hamilton.
Yep.
Samuel Jackson, Robert Englund, a little bit. Samuel L. Jackson. We're not even done. Samuel L. Jackson. We gotta do the entire other half of his career.
Yeah. So you can look forward to that in 2023.
Look forward to that, but we got one more episode. I'm not gonna say what it is because things happen. I don't want to jinx it, but we got one more.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be Christmas related. Maybe it'll come out before Christmas. Maybe it'll come out after Christmas. I don't know. Life happens. We both have vacations to go on. You're going to Japan. That's pretty cool.
Japan.
Yeah. That's fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been on my bucket list for years. I'm just going for a week, and I'm doing like little day trips each day. I'm there. I'm doing like a stayover in Narita, which is just outside of Tokyo. I'm doing a couple of nights in Tokyo, and I got some plans to visit Osaka and Kyoto.
All the hot spots.
All the hot spots.
Gonna get some of that good food.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Spots. Go to that guy who makes like the best sushi, and he like is in like a train station.
My buddy keeps telling me I should go to this robot restaurant.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, but that sounds expensive.
Are they the waiters? Are they the wait staff?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think
Are they cooking the food?
I don't know.
I want to try some robot cuisine.
I don't. If Futurama's telling me anything, robots can't cook because they got no taste. And then they say, with a shirt like that, I wouldn't be talking about no taste.
Hey! And on that was Blizzard from 2003, directed by LeVar Burton. If you like this episode and you want to hear more, please listen to our back catalog of episodes where we are under the name The Fuck Is This? You can find them on Spotify and YouTube. If you were listening to this on Spotify and you want a more visual element to the podcast, you should check out our YouTube page, which Jameson updates with lots of pictures and clips from the movie, so you can have somewhat of a more
context.
Visual context. Please follow us on all the social medias, on Facebook, Instagram, and I guess Twitter is still a thing. It seemed like it wasn't going to be a thing for a while, but I guess it's still holding in there.
I think so. Yeah, I think
maybe we'll be on Hive by this point. We're not joining Hive. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. All right. We'd like to thank Eddie Lamb for our fantastic theme music, and that's it. That's another episode in the bag for Nothing Movies. I'm Kaz.
Oh shit! What are we going to call our Christmas series? Because we call the Halloween stuff Nothing Spookies. Noel thing movies.
Oh God. You know what? We don't need to.
All right.
We don't need to force it.
Okay, cool.
You know what? I was thinking of this earlier. I was trying to think of one. All I could think of was the ho 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 thing. We should do a 420 episode, and then we can call it Nothing Doobies.
We've never done a stoner movie.
No, I know, but that's why we should.
We should rectify that for next year.
We should do it for the pun.
Yeah.
Do you have a quote?
I do.
To take us out on?
I do.
Okay.
Silence if you want to live another day.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. To all a good night.